What is up, everyone? JD here. I hope you're all doing well today. Today I'm really excited because I'm going to bring you my favorite top 5 carries from March 2022. Pretty much just going to run through the list of the things that I marked down on my calendar and which ones made it in the pockets the most. I will say it's always a really close race, so it's always interesting to myself to go back, kind of look at what I've been carrying in prior months and how it kind of changes from month to month. Having said that, I'm going to go ahead and jump in with number 5. Number 5 is the Urban EDC Supply F55. This one here has a 2.7-inch M390 blade, 4-inch black micarta handles for an overall length of 7 inches, and it comes in at 3.2 ounces. So this one here is definitely a chunky little pocket tank, 7 inches, not very long, but it has good presence, nice thickness, very well built. One of the things that I really like about this one is really that Warncliffe shaped blade shape. I don't know if it's a Warncliffe or a sheep's foot. I get so confused because different creators reference it differently, and if you look it up, different identifiers say that it's different. But I like the shape. It's very utilitarian. It's nice for pushing through cardboard, and then when I'm cutting out labels for shipping things out, it works really well for that, and I like it a lot. I like the way that the black micarta came looking very worn, had a lot of patina already built into it. The stone wash, as you can see off the reflection there, just really nice, just has a really good worn look. The M390 on this model for me has performed very well, and it looks really good. The thing I like about the stone wash is it does mask. You might be able to see in the tip just a little bit where I go through some packages. I didn't really actually break a full box down. I just went through a little bit of cardboard. Even M390, if it's not treated well, still really outperforms a lot of other steels, but this one just felt really well treated. But I'll do a long-term update on that. Again, really like the ergos. I find that I'm predominantly holding it in this position. I don't even go into that finger cutout. I think it's a little small for my hand, but when I hold it like this, it works really well, and there's not a lot of movement for me in hand. Action's really good. Just a nice looking knife. I love the pocket clip on this as well. It looks like it's tall, but when you actually get it in hand to use it, it feels really good. It does not poke up into the hand, I think because of the way that it's angled out and it's spread out, right? It's not at a sharp point. It's very flat and blunt, so it doesn't feel sharp in hand, and it is pretty comfortable to use. Again, a little bit smaller for my hand, but I really like that. That was the number 5 most carried knife from March 2022. Coming in at number 4, and probably not a surprise that it's on this list, is going to be my Spyderco Smock. This one here is the Blade HQ exclusive. This one has a 3.4-inch M4 coated blade steel, 4.5-inch fat carbon scales. This one here is in the jungle wear color. Overall length is 8 inches, but again, it's a very slender profile, so that 8 inches carries very well, and the weight is 3.64 ounces. I really like this knife from the gate. I loved the jade and black coated hardware and blade, but with the jungle wear and the Lynch Northwest deep carry pocket clip, it has really elevated the appeal to me, and I really do enjoy the aesthetics of the knife as well as the ergonomics. Oops, I just hit the table. It is a little awkward if you're not used to carrying it, but I really just end up always holding the knife like this. It gets me nice and close to the blade's edge. I love the hollow grind in the M4 blade steel. Spyderco always puts a fantastic edge on their knives. The ergonomics are very comfortable. There's no hot spots for me. Holding it like this, even though it leaves a little bit out of the back, it does keep the pocket clip where it's at the thickest out of the hand, so it just makes it really comfortable. Has a lot of deployment options with the thumb hole. My finger's still a little weak from where I cut it, still a little sensitive. I get a little pop every once in a while. But as you can see there, all the deployments, very fidgetable. I've had this knife on many videos, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. but I will, for anyone that is interested, leave a link right here of all the goodies that I have on this so that you can check that out. I did it in pieces, so it does have skiffs in the pivot, and then I did the scales and the pocket clip later. But again, I'll leave that linked where I said just a moment ago. If you're interested in that, you can come back to this point in the video and check it out if you don't want to finish, or if you don't want to step away from the entire video to check that one out, you can come back and look at it a little later. Next up, and my number 3 spot for most carried in March is going to be my Reeve in Cosi. The Cosi has a 3.6 inch hollow grind S45 VN blade, 4.8 inch titanium frame lock. This one is the base model, just a plain Jane, and I really like the simplistic look of it. It's very classy. Overall length 8.4 inches is definitely a bigger knife, but again, that thinness makes it a really nice carry, and overall weight is 4.96 ounces. There's not a whole lot that I can really say that has already been said about this knife. It's a classic design. It is extremely well built, and it is definitely meant to be used hard, especially for long periods of time, because it is just so comfortable. It has a nice crown spine. All the edges are knocked down, so it just feels really good in hand. And this is definitely one of those knives, the more you use it, the more it's going to break in, the better it's going to feel. Just really a really solid knife. The Cosi and I think the Sabenzas are probably really similar. There's a little bit of difference. You get the 2-finger cutouts, so just some slight differences between the two. Really solid knife. Again, not a whole lot needs to be said about that. Everybody, I'm sure, is familiar with the Reeve. Next up, and a knife that has really surprised me how much I've enjoyed it, is going to be my Concept Convict. This one here has a 3.3 inch S35 VN blade, 4.25 inch titanium handles, and it is a frame lock. Overall is 7.5 inches, which is right in that sweet spot that I love for an EDC, and a very lightweight 4 ounces. I really, again, as you can see, just like the Urban EDC Supply, it has a great utility shape for a lot of the tasks that I perform. I think the aesthetics is really nice on this one. I love the fact that they kind of match the blade shape in the handle, but in the reverse direction, so I really do like that. I love the bronze hardware. My only complaint has been that I wish they would have matched the pivot to that, because they have it everywhere else well done. Fantastic ergos, great position, like your hands put in a really nice position, really close to the blade's edge for whatever you need to do. Lots of cutting edge on this one, but carries really small, so really small in pocket. Just really enjoyed this one a lot, and it is not a surprise that it's this high up on the list. Again, I really like the ergos. Feels really good in hand, and you know, S35VN is just a solid steel. It performs really well. All right, let's keep this one moving on. In the number 1 spot, and again, not a surprise, had to let the old one go to get the new one, so I was without it for a little while, and when I got it back, it's just a reminder of how much I really do love this blade. That is my Protec Malibu, aka the Texture Boo. This one here has a 3.3 inch 20 CV reverse Tonto blade. Again, that utility factor is coming into play for me personally. 4.25 inch aluminum handles, really good size. Again, 7.5 inches, just like the Concept Convict. Really good EDC size. It's a really good size to carry. The weight on this one coming in just over 3 ounces, and fantastic action. I have not swapped anything out on this. I've kicked around putting on the ceramic bearings that come with the Rocket Glides, but the action's so good and everything on it's tuned so well, I'm just really reluctant to kind of mess with this one. Not a whole lot to say on this one as well. If you've been around the channel, you probably are familiar with this knife, and if not, there's plenty of videos where this guy has made an appearance, and I can really just tell you, you know, the size, the weight, the ergos, the build quality, the performance of their 20 CV is really good. I love the sounds. Really familiar with the knife if you can't tell. I had the blue Malibu and I really enjoyed that, and I was really curious about the texture, and I'm just blown away by how much that actually improves the confidence that it inspires in hand. But that's it, guys. Short little video. I just wanted to do a quick little update to let you all know what I had in my pocket most in March. There was a lot of other really good knives. Civivi had some button locks. I did that modified Kaiser Sheepdog, and they were all really close to the top 5, but this ended up being my top 5 for March 2022. Be curious to see how that shakes out in April, because there's already some other knives that I'm super excited about to get in pocket. And make sure that you're subscribed, turn that notification bell to all, and do me a favor, leave a like and comment down below. What is your favorite knife right now? What's in your pocket? I want to hear. Be sure to drop a comment and let me know. I hope all of you have a fantastic week. Thanks for tuning in today, and until next time, peace.